Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy, Issue 3. So let's start talking about this issue, but before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno, episode 173, and that's show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show, so if you want to go check that out, that'll be annotated, and the exclusive comics for that show are in the description below. But let's start talking about The Clone Conspiracy, which I did get a variant cover for. We have whoever this person is, choking Peter. I will say also, this review will have spoilers. Something big happens in the end, so there will be spoilers in this review. Now, moving on to the art style in the interior, I love this art style for the book. I think it's Chung who does the art. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Jim Chung does the art style for this, and I just love the facial expressions. It's the same style as Young Avengers, the original Young Avengers, same artist, and it just works for this book so well. I think it's some of the best artwork we've seen from Spider-Man in a long time. But let's start talking about the story. So with this issue, most of the issue is Peter hanging out with Spider-Gwen. It's Spider-Gwen kind of explaining why she doesn't trust him. And you see these trust issues between each other, and it's that build-up of why they have those trust issues. And then you see the other side, what's going on with the other Gwen Stacy and Kane. That's kind of the slower part of the issue, but you still have to deal with it because Gwen Stacy's either going to escape and all that. So there is some action over there. Like Rhino comes to attack Kane, and it's the new U crew wanting Gwen Stacy back. So even though that's a bit of a slower part, it's still obviously very relevant. And then in the end, it's Peter finally meeting up with who he thought was Jackal, but isn't, and instead is Ben Reilly. And I love this line that he says, "Please, Peter, this is darker than red. It's more of a scarlet." Oh man, I love that line. So we get to see Ben Reilly back, and he says, "Hey Peter, let's team up. That way we can bring back who we all want to be brought back, Uncle Ben." So now we know why Peter will switch sides. It's his guilt, honestly. It's his guilt that's bringing him there. And also his love for his Uncle Ben, and I mean, I would say his guilt for killing Ben Reilly, or killing Ben Reilly. So yeah, you know, what's a clone story without Ben Reilly? That was such a good ending. I won't say I didn't see it coming, because I heard there was something big that happened, and I said, alright, you know, I think Ben Reilly's coming back, and then I'm like, I think Jackal is Ben Reilly. So I did call it before I read it, but I didn't see it coming from like issue 2 or 1. When I heard something big was gonna happen, I just kind of guessed it before I read it, like a day before. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Honestly, I think this is some of Dan Slott's best work. I think this is probably one of his best Spider-Man books he has written thus far. It's so good. You know, you're on your toes each and every issue. Nothing feels slow. And when, you know, it is slow, it's character driven. It's character building. Like the beginning of the issue, of course, it has nothing to do with the cliffhanger. It has to do with Gwen and Peter, which is ultimately build up to this Ben Reilly reveal, which, you know, there's so many theories of, you know, how is Ben Reilly alive? Well, they did explain a little bit how Ben Reilly was alive, but why is he alive? Why is he doing this? Like, what is his plan? So, there's a lot of interesting things that, can happen with this cliffhanger. Now, I don't know if Ben Reilly fans will be upset because he's, like, being painted as the villain, but maybe there's a turnaround with that. I don't know, but very excited. I thought that was a great cliffhanger, and like I said, I think this is some of Dan Slott's best work, and I hope it stays consistent with issue 4 and 5, which honestly I think is a really good number for this series. I'm glad it's not really pushing. It's like, oh, let's have 8 issues. I think then you would have a bit more filler, but I could totally see this issue and or the story ending with 2 more issues. So I'm very happy with the pacing so far. So Clone Conspiracy was my pick of the week, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Like I said, there were some slow parts with the Gwen Stacy scene, the actual Gwen Stacy, or I won't say actual, but 616 Gwen Stacy. There were some slower scenes, but everything else was really good, and I love how they're adding Spider-Gwen, Kane. Oh man, it's been a really good Spider-Man story so far. So this is my pick of the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.